All right, so we're off to a pretty cool overnight stop for tonight in the RV, but we wanted to kind of take today to address a question we get all the time on here, which is how we keep our cats safe and comfortable living full time in this RV. So we're going to talk about that now. All right, so for starters, this is just a comfortability thing. We have these dog crates that we put them in for driving days. It's just a little more comfortable than like those small cat crates that they sell that they would typically be in. All right, now this is something we cannot stress enough. We live in an RV with a slide out. Never put your slide out or take it in when the cats are in the RV. You do not want them getting caught up in anything. It's just very dangerous, scary for the cats, quite frankly. So always, always, always
I think
take
that
your
goes
cats out.
for small dogs as well.
Oh yeah, small dogs as well. Honestly, big dogs too. Honestly, all animals should be out of the RV when you're doing the slide in.
Because we're not going to talk about it, but I've heard some horror stories of, when these slides start coming in or out. I
They're
mean,
not. No,
there's very little to stop these things.
yeah.
And, if they get into a spot where, they get caught, it's not a good, not a good thing.
Not a good thing at all. So always, always, always cats or dogs in your car before you do the slide in. And then also just make sure you put their favorite blankets in their little crates. It just makes them happier. Also, this should kind of go without saying, but if you are driving like a towable vehicle, make sure you have your cats in the truck with you and don't leave them in the RV when you're towing. And then we already did this for the day, but this is something we do every time we leave the RV is we turn the water off or the water pump. Even if you don't have pets, like leaving your water on when you're gone from the RV is just a great way for like something could go wrong and your RV could flood. And just turning off the water at the source and your water pump and all that kind of stuff is a good way to prevent that from happening. Especially if you have pets though, because we have been sleeping in the middle of the night and our cats have turned the water on. And if we were gone when that happened, that could have been really bad. All right, cats are in the truck. Both of them are in there. We're gonna go put the slide in. All right, don't judge the way our slide sounds. It's a little broken, but
It's supposed to sound like that.
yeah, it's supposed to be this loud and obnoxious and scary. So, but yeah, like I said, no cats in here. You do not want your cats to be in here when the slide is going in. So something else we do every single time we leave the RV and on driving days is make sure the propane is turned off. If we're out of the RV, the propane is never on. All right, but Garrett's just dumping our tanks and then we are off. But they both seem pretty happy today. Like I said, having their favorite blankets in there is super important to keep them super comfortable, but it seems like they're doing good today. So another tip we have is keep your driving days decently short if you're able to. We only have an hour driving day today, and our maximum driving day we like to do is around 3 hours. Obviously, we've done more sometimes, but another tip is always take breaks on the drive. Our cats don't have litter boxes in their crates, so every like hour and a half, 2 hours, if we are doing a longer drive, we will stop and like take them inside, make sure they don't have to go to the bathroom, give them a little snack, just give them time to stretch their legs and stuff, because they need to have a little leg stretching time too, just like we do on long drives. All right, so normally we wouldn't take a break during a 1 hour driving day, but Virginia just got a Buc-ee's last year, so it's probably the last one we're gonna see in a very long time. So we are obviously going to get some lunch and then give the cats a little bit of time to take a break. All right, we need this. I'm gonna get popcorn too. What flavor? I want this one. I always wanted this one. Okay? To the food. Alrighty, so we made it where we are staying for the night. We're gonna take a break on cat tips right now, but we're staying at the Marceline Vineyards in Virginia. It's a harvest host and it is so pretty. We got our RV parked among all the wine and there's like beautiful mountain views back there. I don't know if you can see them on the camera, but they're there, just trust us. But we're gonna go get some wine and patronize the place and then we'll continue cat tips. All right, so they have like a huge patio back here. So we're kind of just hanging on their little back patio, having our Chardonnay, which we normally don't even like Chardonnays, but this one's really good. So before we go home to the RV, which is 100 feet away, we're gonna see the chickens first. There's a bunch of chickens here. Hello, friends. How are you?
What's the chair doing right there?
They sit on that sometimes.
Just a chair.
They just sit on that. It's their favorite place to sit. This is where Garrett keeps his hats. I keep mine in that section, which you can see. Garrett keeps his hats in here, but he has to keep them kind of pushed back far because this is one of Nico's little spots. And watch, you'll get to see him jump down. Oh, hello, baby.
He's taking it over.
It's his hat spot. Okay, now that we're done at the winery, we're gonna kind of show you like the interior of the RV and all the things we've done for the cats and pretty much everything we've brought for them, which is a lot. All right, so the slide out is basically their entire room, minus that one plant, but they have their toy. They have their tent. They have their entire cat castle.
There used to be a couch right here.
Oh yeah, for reference, there used to be a whole couch bed situation right there.
But
we ripped it out.
We ripped it out because we don't need it.
No, we don't need it, and the cats honestly needed their cat castle a little bit more. So, and then also, if you notice, this entire thing filled with cat toys looks like garbage, honestly. It's just entirely filled with their cat toys. So there's also a bin under the bed filled with cat toys and a whole bunch of other stuff. So we're going to show you that too. All right, so they also have half the dinette is taken up by their beds. Ignore this. We're in a spot for one night, so these are some of our paintings that go on the wall, but those are the ones that fall off. So we just have them sitting there. But they each have their own bed on the dinette and another bed right here on the table. These two are both heated beds, so very, very, very spoiled. So another thing that we did, which isn't really necessary, but we kind of wanted to do it.
I think it is necessary.
I think it might be. We cut a hole under the bed. So half of under the bed, that's normally storage for most RVers, but we made it into a space where basically the cats can feel safe under there. So there's a lot of beds and things under there that they can lay on. So that area is not storage for us. It's actually mostly the cat area. So they can go under there anytime they're feeling like remotely afraid of anything or just they want to cuddle or whatever. They go under there. So the bed is cat space.
Not to mention it opens up like some more airflow for under the bed as well.
Oh yeah, honestly, it opens up airflow under the bed so we aren't getting like mold under the bed since there's the hole there. So another bonus thing right there.
Okay, so one other thing we did is I removed the clip that goes right here. Basically, when you shut the door, it latches onto this thing, and so every time you shut, and
they become kind of like one thing.
Yeah, like clips on, and then when you open the door, it like comes with it. We do that so when
we wanted them to be two separate entities, basically.
Yeah, because that way when we come home and we open the door, the screen door stays there. That way, if the cat's at the door, they can't run out, and I think that's just kind of important.
And then another thing that we do, if we are like, we want the front door open all the time because the cats like to look out the front door, we shut this like that, just so if they happen to open this, they can't get out.
Yeah.
So, just a tip.
These, I don't know if every RV comes with them, but
you can definitely install them.
Yeah, you can install them aftermarket.
All right, so also, if the weather is hot, like extremely hot, we always make sure we're staying somewhere with full hookups. That way we can be like hooked up and use our AC. So
yeah, and also we tend not to leave either. Like if it's gonna be really hot, we kind of stay at the RV, even like so we have a hookup spot that we stay at just in case something goes wrong, like the AC cuts out or the power goes out or whatever. We want to make sure that we're here.
We want to be here just in case.
That way, just anything wrong goes. I mean, we're talking like extreme heat waves. Still.
Yeah, we tend to avoid those when we can. Another thing that I find to be super important is having your pet's vet records printed out. Just have them like printed out or on a PDF. And then always knowing where the closest emergency vet is and just a regular vet, just in case. Honestly though, these cats have quite frankly loved living in the RV. They love just like looking out this front door at different views every single day. It's kind of been their favorite thing in the entire world. So there's a whole bus coming up to this like winery right now and they close in a couple hours. So I don't know what's going on. All right, so this is not the most ideal thing, but I feel like it's important.
I sacrifice a lot of space, but I keep a cat carrier on my side of the bed for emergency situations. Now, both of our cats can fit in this. I know it looks small, but in emergency...
They get along really well, so it works.
Yeah, and they can fit. We've done it plenty of times. They've gone both in here. I want to have a cat carrier that's quick access just in case anything happens. But the second point is to know your cats. Nico is the first cat that I'm, in any sort of emergency situation, he's the first cat that I'm gonna grab.
So that one right there is Dwight. He's confident.
Yeah, Dwight, he's older, more chill. He can go outside on our shoulder. Like we've taken him outside many times.
We've taken him out with, he's the one that we walk on a leash. We've taken him out with no leash before. He's totally fine.
Yeah. So like knowing your cats, like having emergency crate on the side and then knowing your cats, because I know I'm going to look for Nico and grab Nico first, get him in the crate, and then Dwight second, because I know that in the worst case scenario, Dwight, I can just throw over my shoulder and bring him outside and he's fine because he's pretty chill. And
all right, now this looks like a chaotic mess, and it is.
Yeah, we got their cat toys.
These are all cat toys.
They're cat
Two
backpacks.
cat backpacks.
and then half of it is a bed for them. So we've kind of sacrificed storage.
They sleep on this together, so
yeah, we tend to live. We don't have a lot of stuff, so we tend to like use a lot of our space for the cats.
The cats deserve the world, quite frankly. All right, so another thing that we definitely recommend is having a camera that you can have running in your RV when you're not home. We just kind of like to use it to watch our cats when we're not around, if we are somewhere where we have like our Starlink hooked up or we have Wi-Fi. This was a gift from one of Garrett's best friends, so shout out to you, Ian, if you're watching this. Thank you for the cat camera. We use it all the time, but it was like a housewarming gift when we bought the RV, but we love this little cat camera. We use it constantly. I will link it below. We literally use it all the time. It's 10 out of 10, recommend that. So if we're being totally honest, we put off buying an RV to live in for years because we were kind of afraid our cats would not like the lifestyle. Like, we were just kind of afraid our cats would hate the driving days, hate to like live in a small space, but they adapted so well to this. And one thing that I think really helped them is our first month on the road. Actually, we did it for 2 months. Our first 2 months on the road, we booked one campground. That way we could just give them time to get comfortable in their new home. That was just something I feel like that helped. So if you're able to, book like a longer term stay somewhere so your pets can just get used to their new space so they're not like constantly driving all the time, and then ease into the driving days. It just makes it a lot easier for them, I feel like. And our cats adjusted pretty well, and we're a year and a half in, and they seem to love it. So Dwight is basically very tuckered out today. We're going to take him on a walk soon. So he likes to go on walks. So that's another thing. We have 2 cat backpacks. We're trying to train Nico on enjoying being outdoors. He's a little bit more of an indoor kitty. He loves the RV. He's so happy in here. But Dwight, on the other hand, likes to go on walks. So I think if you've seen any of our other videos, you've probably seen us taking him on walks. He likes to go on walks, but
Nico's working his way into his backpack.
yeah, we're leaning towards Nico. There are chickens at this winery, well, not brewery, whatever we're at. There's chickens at this winery, so we're gonna take both cats later once the winery closes down for the night to see the chickens. All right, we've made it.
You can't scare the chickens, baby.
Yeah, we're not gonna scare them. We're just gonna look at them. He says, "What the heck are those things?" He's really looking at them. Oh my. He said, "What the heck are those? I don't know what those are. They're scary." Oh, the chickens are interested in Dwight. They're coming to say hi. He says, "What the heck are these things?"
Baby, you can say hi to the chickens.
You can say hi. They're not going to hurt you. He says, "Who are these guys?" So I would love to know if you think these tips are a little too extreme or if they're not extreme enough. Definitely let us know in the comments below. And then definitely leave any other tips you have for living on the road with pets in the comments below too. Just, you never know who might help. All right, well, good morning. It's another day. Things are a little chaotic in here because we're literally about to leave the spot we're at, but we want to talk about the litter box situation. So we have a pretty small rig. There's not a lot of good places to put it. So we have it in the bathroom. We're not going to show it because it's a little messy in there. But we have a stainless steel litter box and we scoop it like 2-3 times a day. However often they go to the bathroom, we scoop it. So it kind of keeps the scent out. And then when we have to shower, we just move it and stick it by the front door. So it's not ideal, but it does work. All right, but anyway, it is a driving day today. We are heading to West Virginia right now. We're gonna feed the cats. That's another tip that we do. We feed them like maybe a half an hour or so before we leave. That way they kind of have a little bit of time to digest their food and they're not like full stomachs going in the car. But anyway, definitely leave us some comments below if you have any more questions about how we do with the cats on the road. Been doing it for about a year and a half, so I like to think we kind of know what we're doing a little bit. Or if you have any other cat tips or pet tips, we're all ears. We'd love to hear. Also, be sure to like this video if you found it helpful and subscribe to our channel. We have so many RV life adventures with our cats to share, so we're happy to have you here.